Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to What If Naruto Was Born God Level Part 3. And what do I have to say? Scripting is a bit of fun, I will not lie to you lot. I've been enjoying it a bit. I've literally spent my entire day scripting. And I kind of also hate it because I know the fact that I'm not having a life right now because I've just been scripting. But it's not exactly a bad thing that the videos are getting better quality. There's only a few things I wanted to say. One, this video might end up being a bit longer because I went ham with this script, no word of a lie. Secondly, please go check out my thunder artist, he's coming in clutch. I just gave him like 3 ideas and he's working on all of them, and he's not even on a holiday like I am right now. I'm on my half term. But he's still coming in clutch for me. And yeah, other than that guys, make sure you subscribe, it helps a lot more than you think. Comment down below, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss another daily upload. And let's get straight into this. Oh, let me open up my script. We now go to Naruto and Gaara, who are sitting in the middle of a crater created by the battle between Naruto and Sasuke. Gaara wakes up and begins to cry, saying, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to, I couldn't control it, I couldn't hold it back anymore, the voices became too loud. Naruto begins to laugh, shocking Gaara. Naruto's laugh very quickly becomes infectious, and Gaara begins to laugh with him. Gaara, after about a minute of laughing, like literally just a 1 minute of pure laughter, Gaara finally manages to ask Naruto, why are you laughing? Which Naruto replies, why not? You're apologising for something that isn't even your fault, as if you meant to do all the things you did. I just find it funny. Gaara smiles and said, I never thought of it that way. My entire life I was shunned, hated for something that was out of my control. I guess after all them years, I began to believe it was actually my fault as well. But no, you're right, it wasn't my fault, and it never will be. But for some reason the voices have gone quiet. Naruto replies, that's because I fixed your little problem and got rid of that one-tailed bastard. You won't ever hear the voices again. The tears begin to flow even harder as Gaara says, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I promise that no matter what happens, I will repay this debt in full. Naruto replies, there's no debt to be paid now that we're friends, right? And sorry guys, my settings. Sorry. Gaara says quietly in a voice to himself, friends are. I've never had a friend, but no, I insist, I must pay back this debt. Naruto thinks for a moment and then replies, if you really want to pay your debt back that much, why not join this village and stay with me? Because life can get really boring here. Gaara immediately agrees, but questions, wait, how will we be allowed after all that I've done? And Naruto smirks, saying, don't worry, let me handle it. We now cut to Naruto in the third Hokage's office, arguing with the third Hokage to let Gaara stay in the Leaf Village. The third Hokage says no, he's caused way too much damage and injured our shinobi. Naruto says bullshit. No one got injured because I dealt with him before any of your precious ambu were even in a mile radius, so don't give me that shit about people getting injured. The third Hokage says no, I won't have a reason good enough for you people to accept it. Naruto stops for a moment and thinks, and then says, what if the reason is that the reward I asked for saving the Leaf Village from a one-tailed rampage was that I wanted Gaara to stay in the Leaf Village? The third Hokage still refuses this. Naruto takes a deep breath, saying then you leave me no choice. I, Naruto Uzumaki, am leaving the Leaf Village along with Gaara to start our own village. After hearing this, the third Hokage shouts, wait! As Naruto is facing the door, not showing his face at all because he has the biggest mischievous smile on his face. The third Hokage says, well, if that's the case, I guess, no, I mean, we can 100% welcome Gaara with open arms into our village, as long as you don't leave. Naruto saying thank you, I knew you'd understand. If you're wondering why this happened, as the third Hokage recognizes Naruto as being one of the strongest forces that their village has, and you know what? My mum got some Irish orange juice, yeah, from a special Irish shop near us. It's an hour drive. It's called Club Orange. It's the best drink I've ever had. It's the best drink. It's my favourite drink ever. Listen. Oh, it's the best. After giving Gaara the good news, they both head to his house where Jiraiya is sitting there yet again, but waiting for him. But this time he has 3 bowls of ramen. And says, the Hokage already informed me what you did, you cheeky brat, threatening to leave the Lee village if he doesn't let your friend join. Hearing this, Gaara is shocked and felt a bit guilty, saying, you what? You shouldn't have done that. You could have lost your home and all that. Naruto says, with a smile, it's no biggie. I would do anything for my friends, and you are my friend. Hearing this, both Jiraiya and Gaara smile. One of them is happy to have such a great friend, while the other one is happy his son is such a great person. Yes, for those who didn't pay attention in part 1, Naruto is Jiraiya's son, he adopted him. Now Naruto has a week of free time, as Jiraiya decided that he needed to train Gaara and figure out his abilities before they're given a rank. He was also asked to do this by the 3rd Hokage. So Naruto goes deep into the Forest of Death, and summons Kanji. If you forgot, that is his Galaxy Dragon summoning. He summons Kanji as he finally made the link between his new power, that Galaxy Transformation, and he linked it that it has something to do with her, and he asked her, what is it? Kanji replies, it is my duty to protect my master. As such, when I wasn't sure if you would be injured or not, I decided to protect you. Naruto goes, so that's what that barrier was in the Chunin exams. And when Shugaku attacked me. Interesting, but that's not the main point. What is that other form I have now, where the tattoo mark spreads down my body and over my eye? Kanji replies, you're my master, so obviously what mine is then yours. So that form is when you channel my power. Naruto now understanding what it is. Oh, 1 second guys, my phone is ringing. Sorry about that, it was my mate asking what we're doing in the after term. But anyway, where was I? Anyways, and Kanji says that's you just channeling my power. Now that Naruto understands it, he asks, what else can I do with this power? Kanji replies, it would be better if you figured it out on your own. But I'll give you 2 important ones at least, because mainly one of them you already did it and haven't even realised. And that is you can choose who to bless with the power of the galaxy. Although it will be nowhere near as powerful as you are, or how you will become with using the power of the galaxy yourself, it would still be insanely powerful when compared to the average of shinobi in this world. Naruto thinks back and realises, wait, is that why the mark on Gaara's forehead became galaxy? And Kanji replies, precisely Naruto, or precisely master. And Naruto then asks, what ability does that include? And Kanji replies, only time will tell. And now, for the second ability, you're able to tear holes in space, and travel through them like wormholes. After hearing this, Naruto smirks, and Kanji returns into that liquid form and shoots up Naruto's arm, returning to his dragon tattoo. Actually, you know what guys? The dragon tattoo, I was going to make it when Kanji summoned, the tattoo disappears, but no, that's not happening. He just returns straight back into the dragon tattoo. Naruto then has a very mischievous smile on his face again, and yells, if I got lucky with my first summon, then how lucky will I get with my second? And he attempts another summoning jutsu, and yet again is astounded by what's in front of him. It's another dragon, but it's made out of nothing but darkness, and when I mean darkness, this darkness is so dark that it's like the surrounding light is being sucked into it, bending reality. Naruto hears Kanji's voice saying, incredible, that's the Void Dragon, the only creature in existence who could rival my power, other than you of course, master. You're in luck, the only way to tame this creature is by using me to tame it, where you tame me with your pure strength, he needs me to tame. Naruto thinks about it and says, nah, I'm gonna do it myself, and rushes at the Void Dragon and swings a punch, unlike when he fought against Kanji, where Kanji's head didn't even move, it felt like he hit a wall. This dragon actually seemed to be damaged at first, so Naruto realises it is unfazed, and he feels his chakra beginning to be drained. Naruto laughs and says, so that's how it is, you want to drain my chakra, then eat your fill. He jumps on the dragon's back and wraps around his neck, and begins to pour chakra into it. The Void Dragon at first is unfazed until you hear a voice saying, no more, no, please, I surrender. This is the Void Dragon's voice, and he bows as Naruto gets off him, saying, master. Kanji appears in a human form, saying, incredible, You filled the Void Dragon's infinite reservoir, or infinite storage worth of chakra. Restart. You filled the Void Dragon's infinite storage, or reserves at least. But that's impossible, it's infinite. That means you filled infinity with infinity, or so more than that. Just how much chakra do you have, Master? Naruto doesn't apply the kanji and says, I will name you Kusho. And that is because the Japanese name for void is Kusho. Kusho is very similar to kanji, and becomes liquid form and shoots up Naruto's arm and goes onto the left side of his neck, creating another tattoo. We now cut to 2 days later, where Sasuke, who is slowly becoming a bit different than who he used to be. He's more irritable, more snappy, and just more of a mug. He's in the third Hokage's office along with Gaara and Naruto. The third Hokage announces that due to the Chunin exams, Sasuke and Gaara have been promoted to Chunin, while Naruto has been promoted to Jonin. Hearing this, Sasuke is spiteful and he cuts in saying, No, I'm stronger than Naruto now. It should be me who's Jonin. After Sasuke says this, Naruto laughs, saying, You're a long way from being stronger than me, Sasuke. Sasuke yells, Don't test me, Naruto. I'm not the same. I will win. Just out of curiosity, Naruto says, Okay, then prove it. Sasuke laughs, saying, You go first. I don't want you to say it's unfair when you lose. Shoot your strongest jutsu at me, Naruto. Naruto replies with, okay, and makes a Rasengan, which is nowhere near his strongest jutsu, or has barely put any chakra in it. And he shoots it at Sasuke. It's strong enough to knock Sasuke out. And Sasuke smirks. He outdoes his white Sharingan and counters the Rasengan, and it shoots back. Now with Sasuke's counter ability with training, not only does he counter any Jutsu, he makes it 2 times stronger. And the Rasengan is sent back at Naruto twice as strong, but Naruto just stands there and tanks it, without being phased at all. And he replies, Wow, Sasuke, I'm impressed. But still not strong enough to fight against me. So what if I can't use ninjutsu? Naruto begins to release his galaxy pressure, like he did against Kiba. And it blows Sasuke into the wall and then forces him down onto one knee. As he could barely even look up, he says, What is this pressure? Scowling at Naruto. Naruto releases him, saying, with a smile, Just train a bit harder, Sasuke, who knows, you might be doing this to me one day. Sasuke stands up quickly, but stays quiet this time, and the third Hokage continues, My old age is getting to me, and I'm planning to step down, but before I do that, you 3 need to go and find my replacement, Tsunade, my old student. Naruto immediately says, I refuse, but Sasuke and Gaara will go. It will give them a chance to get to know each other. Gaara happily agrees to this. Oh, one second, let me turn my notifications off. Gaara happily agrees to this, as he's getting a chance to make new friends with Sasuke, while Sasuke just nods and walks out. They leave the village in search for Tsunade, and Naruto just spends the next week training his new abilities. It seems like this Void Dragon doesn't have the ability to spread along his body like the Karma. Like how, you know how I said the Galaxy Dragon mark, it spreads along the body like Karma. The Void one doesn't seem to have the ability to do this, or at least Naruto hasn't figured out how to. But the abilities that Naruto could figure out is that he can completely erase someone's chakra for any period of time, making it void. As he realizes this, he senses Gaara and someone else's chakra that he doesn't recognize at the village gates, but he realizes Gaara is extremely weak, as if he was dying. And Naruto tears a hole in space and teleports to them, where he sees Gaara and a blonde-haired woman who he recognizes immediately as Tsunade, but they're extremely beaten up. That's when he sees it. A hole in Gaara's chest, and Naruto checking it with his Rinnegan, it barely missed his heart. As a matter of fact, it actually destroyed a bit of it. Tsunade drops to the floor along with Gaara, saying, It was the other boy who was with us. Weird marks spread all over his body and he went berserk and did this. Gaara refused to fight against him, saying, We're friends, I will not fight. But in the end he ended up like this, without even fighting back. I barely had enough chakra to get here, let alone heal him. Please, get him some help. He saved my life, he's the only reason I'm even alive. For the second time in Naruto's life, time has stopped. He can no longer sense Gaara's chakra. Suddenly time resumes as he sees the mark on Gaara's forehead change from red to galaxy. As all of Gaara's wounds immediately heal, Naruto's relieved and he goes over and heals Tsunade, and then immediately leaves at insane speeds towards Sasuke. As soon as he picks up and can sense Sasuke's chakra, he tears open space and appears above Sasuke. He sees all the strange smoke that Tsunade spoke of, but he's not phased at all. As Sasuke spots him, he can barely block in time as Naruto spins around and slams his fist into the arms, causing, like, you can literally hear the crack in Sasuke's arms, breaking them. He slams into the ground, leaving a crater. But before Sasuke can even recover, Naruto comes down screaming, "Why, Sasuke?" And he stamps on Sasuke's chest. Sasuke splits blood everywhere and says, "Do be strong." Naruto watches as the curse mark that was already on him completely envelops Sasuke's body, as wings sprout out of his back and he kicks Naruto off him. Seeing this, Naruto realizes what's going on, and he raises his arms to his side like a T-pose, and yells, "Come at me, Sasuke. If you truly are ready, let's see what you can do. I've completely lowered my defenses. Let's see if you really are determined to kill your best friend. For power." Sasuke charges at Chidori and runs directly at Naruto, and it tears through Naruto's chest and his heart. Naruto spits out blood over Sasuke's face, looking him dead in the eyes. It's as I thought, you really are not in control. We hear Kajin's voice, remember that's the Galaxy Dragon, saying, "Master, that was reckless even for you. You're lucky we are with you. As long as at least one of us are with you, even if your heart stops, you will not die. But healing is your own choice, but luckily for you, you have a great healing factor." It is at this moment Naruto yells, "Now, Kurama!" As red chakra pours out Naruto's body, not like a One-Tail's cloak, it's more controlled, pure, condensed. And it begins to surround Naruto's body like a cloak or a cape. And 8 tendrils appear on Naruto's back. We recognise this as barrier mode, and this is what he says to Sasuke. "Sasuke, this is barrier mode." We now cut to a week back when Naruto, just before Naruto started training with, I forgot his name, with Kusho. I think I messed up the name, but we're going to go with it anyway. We can now cut back to a week back. As Kurama and Naruto were talking about this form called barrier mode as a last ditch resort, so they know they need it. If they have it, they need it. It uses Kurama's life energy in exchange for power, as there would never be enough chakra to actually sustain the form. But after watching Naruto's fight with the Void Dragon and realizing that Naruto's chakra is infinite, Kurama believes that Naruto's chakra would be enough to sustain and maintain the form. We now cut back to the fight. Naruto is now in barrier mode, and Sasuke is no longer able to land a single blow. And with his hand still in his chest, the tendrils slam into Sasuke, sending him flying across the valley, slamming him into a wall. The hole in his chest immediately heals, and the real fight begins. Not at all Sasuke cannot land a single blow, but every single punch that Naruto's land, it's like he absorbs this transformation. Every single place his punch lands, his skin returns to normal, he loses the transformation. And after about a minute, Naruto says, "Okay, it's enough." Sasuke's returned to his normal form by now, and he says, "It's time to go night-night, Sasuke. I'll see you when you're back to normal, my friend." He then ducks beneath Sasuke, and he swings his entire body in motion as he kicks from the ground upwards, slamming it into Sasuke's face, knocking him out. And for safety measures, he wraps his arm on the red chakra, and he slams it down. When I mean he slams it, when Sasuke's body hits the ground, remember they're in the Valley of Death right now, or the Valley of the End, I mean. The ocean they were on gets split into a crater and it falls back up. Naruto looks down at his unconscious friend. For the first time in his life, he fully feels despair, sadness, and void. He feels all these feelings in his chest as these emotions overrun him. Naruto hears Kusho's voice, and it says, "Finally. I was surprised when we first made the contract, when I first became your servant and you became my master. I realised that you never had once experienced the actual feeling of void, therefore unable to truly use my power. But now it is yours to command, as you have fully experienced these emotions." As he says this, Naruto feels his Void Dragon on the left side of his body spread down his arm over his face, and he sees in a reflection of the water, similar to how when he uses galaxy his eyes becomes a galaxy. His now is as black as a void. Naruto then places his left hand over Sasuke's curse mark, and he begins to search for the negative emotions, the negative chakra, and he says it's as I thought. Where are Orochimaru being killed immediately? Without him, I don't think Orochimaru expected that. He giggles. The negative emotion he had, the dark thoughts, pure power he had, transferred to Sasuke's curse mark. Theoretically meaning, in reality, he had no control over his actions. But now I will fix my mistake. As he finally finds all the negative emotions, he begins to charge up his power. And Naruto's voice turns dark and deep. And he says,
Void.
He completely erases the dark emotions, the dark energies inside Sasuke. And he stands up and looks down at Sasuke. He's happy. His friend is saved. But he notices that Sasuke's curse mark isn't gone at all, but is now glowing, or should I say absorbing the light, as it is the same colour that the Void Dragon is. That the same colour that his mark goes when he activates the Void Dragon's power. Naruto smirks, saying, "Is this?" Kusho interrupts him saying, "Yes it is. It's just as you thought. Just as you can give people the powers of the galaxy, you can also give them the power of Void." Naruto, still smiling, stands up and picks Sasuke up and puts him over his shoulder and makes his way back to the village. Other than that, guys, if you did enjoy, make sure you share with your friends and family, like, subscribe, comment down below, all the other shit that you need to do. Check out my thumbnail artist, check me out on Instagram, add me on Snapchat, we'll get a little conversation going. It'll be fun, it'll be enjoyable, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe because it helps me a lot more than you actually realise. I actually think you don't realise how much it helps me. But yeah, I will see all of you lovely people in a bit. Peace out, guys, bye.